welcome, my Stampin' friends. My name is Marilyn. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And tonight I have a faux quilting card to show you. Different faux shutter fracture card has been called. I really think it's a neat idea. So I'm going to share that with you. You can see on the screen some bonus things and lots of things happening today that I want to share with you. But before we go there, I'm going to pop on and say hi so you can see me. Welcome to everyone, whether you have been here with me before, welcome you back. If you've never been before, I welcome you here. And I hope that you're going to enjoy what we're doing. I come to you each Thursday evening with this live on Facebook and YouTube. I try to share new things that I enjoy doing and lots of Stampin' Up world and love to the community atmosphere that we have, keep chatting with each other. Lots of you do know each other through um, this type of media, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for the team that we have built here, and I hope that we can do it for a long time. So let me just tell you about a few things that are happening. Today, July 6th, I'm going to, my iPad is shutting off. Oops. I want to show you this screen so I can remember to tell you everything. Today we have new online exclusives, and on that note, I know lots of you have been looking for the little red truck set. I understand from what I read recently that it is now sold out until July 17th, and we're on the 6th, so 11 days, that's not too bad, not too bad. Oh, and before I forget, while you're coming on, let me know where you're watching from, and let me know, the question for tonight is, please tell me what is your, what are your plans for a summer vacation? I'm assuming that most of you will be having some type of road trip or flying trip or whatever during July and August, and I just love to hear where you're headed. Okay, so back to the things happening today. The clearance rack was refilled, and I understand there's some embellishments on there for under $2, so have a look. Bonus days are happening, so any order $60 or more happening between now and the end of July will receive a $6 coupon for every $60 you spend, and that coupon you can redeem in August on whatever you. There's a kit released. I don't know the name of it, sorry. And pumpkin refills, past kits, and add-ons are on sale, and those are only for current pumpkin subscribers. So if you're not, you may want to sign up as a subscriber. And I'll just show you this kit that is available if you sign up now for the 10th. And we are on the 6th. So there is a few days left there for you to do that. I'm just going to try and make sure. I see some people are here, so I'm assuming that I'm in the right place. So if you are looking for a paper pumpkin, that's a great deal, a summertime one happening here. So I'm going to switch you back here for a minute. You can see my host code along the bottom of the screen there. If you live in Canada, I'd love to have you as a shopper with me. And just reach out if you have any questions. Classes I'm currently hosting, back to hosting again, and I thank you for everyone who stayed with me throughout that last month when we had some issues when I couldn't be here. Zoom with Friends class on Friday at 1 p.m. This is one that we have gained a great community out of this, and started it when COVID hit, and we'll keep going as long as there's interest. I don't mind hosting it. Lots of different people do teach it, and that way it's not a burden on any one person. Plus, it gives you a chance to show your talents and teach whatever you like. There's no restrictions on that. The only thing I ask is that you let me know if you're interested. I will send you the email with the Zoom link because I do not publish it online. Okay, we also have a 12-month Christmas cards happening the second Thursday of each month at 1 o'clock. All of my classes are on Zoom. We have a monthly card class the third Thursday, and the registration's always 2 weeks before the cutoff date. So just keep that in mind, and you'll find that on my social media channels. And a Stamp a Stack of masculine cards I am hosting on Tuesday, July 25th. To That was one that I had to postpone the last month, and I do want to carry on and get through that one for those who have registered. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting me, and I'm going to switch you over to the desktop. You can see the color choices that happen. Those of you in my VIP group, I posted a poll yesterday to see what colors I should use, and this was the favorite, Pebble Path and Lemon Lolly. These are two of the newer colors that Stampin' Up came up with this year. So that's what I'm going to use for my card tonight. But I did take the opportunity to make the same card with the other choices I had, which were, now I have to look at the cards to see what they were. They were Gorgeous Grape and Fresh Freesia, and Boho Blue and Moody Mauve. Yeah. So I'll show you those afterwards too. I'm just going to check the comments here. Hello, Gail, Roz, Megan, Faye, and Kinser Crafts from Kentucky. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you here. Everyone is welcome to watch the comment. And I do a draw the following week for the card that we make tonight. So I do draw tonight for 5 different names for cards that I do have in my stash over there. There's quite a number in there, and I love giving them away and sharing them. So we'll do that at the end. So stick around, and we will carry on here. And hello, Sharon. So welcome everyone. As always, a number of you on here are demonstrators, and I love having you join me. If there's questions that I don't happen to see and answer right away, please feel free to go ahead and answer, and I will go back and read all of them afterwards and comment where I can too. So again, please let us know where you're watching from and what your plans are for summer. I know there's lots of things happening, and usually happens in the summertime, and people sometimes just stay home and take part in that. So that's great. Okay, so for our colors tonight, our Pebble Path and Lemon Lolly, I will give you measurements of what I have. To begin with, I have white at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. So that will be my base. And as I made these cards, I certainly kept looking and thinking, okay, I could use this color, this color, this color. I think almost any color would work for this particular card. So then I will have my Pebble Path is going to be, and I'll leave it there for just a few minutes, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And as you can see, that gives you just a real narrow border. And I, for one, really like that narrow border. If you don't like it, you can do the 1/4 inches that we normally do. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. Then I have a layer. Let me see, I was going to do this so you didn't realize it was all cut out yet, but let me just do this. So this layer is Lemon Lolly, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. And I have used Stylish Shapes, and I've used the third largest, 1, 2, 3, this particular one, to cut out a diamond shape pretty much in the center. I like it in the center. I'll show you one that isn't that way, and maybe you can make that decision for yourself. So 5 1/4 by 4. And I do have, if you're noticing sparkles, I was prepping for my Christmas card class, and I cut glimmer paper, and it seems to be stuck inside my cut and emboss machine because it comes out on all these things. So then after I cut that one out, I took the smallest one and cut out the center. And I'm not going to use this piece, whoops, but I am going to use this one. And sorry, just trying to move stuff around. Then I am going to use a white one in the center, just for contrast, and I'm going to use that there. Okay, so basically, we're just going to build the card. I'm going to start with adding 1/4 inch strips of the pebbled path around the square that I've got in the center. So when you do this particular card, you do end up with a lot of these pieces left. So you can see what I've been playing with here. I have this one and this one, and then I have another center, and then I have another center that I'm going to tell you, do as I say, not as I did, because it's not quite right. And we're going to build a card together, okay? So I don't know if you've seen this card before. Like I say, it is called a faux shutter or a fractured glass. But I just thought it was really neat and a neat way to add some detail to your card that is, well, in my world, it's kind of unique, but it's also reminds me of quilting, which I love. So you take your 1/4 inch piece. These are cut at about 4.5, so 4.5, 4 1/4. And all I'm going to do is line them up along that edge around each side. So I don't want to go over my cut edge here for when this one comes around. So I'm just going to use this as a guide. And I'm going to hold my finger about there to put my adhesive on. And I'm going to use a trick that my friend Bonnie mentioned the other day. Instead of getting lots of glue all over the place by using a strip of or a roll of glue, I guess you would call it. And it hopefully will help it from oozing out, which it did on a couple of the other cards. So I'm just going to lay this one here for now. Then I'm going to butt this one up against it and glue it down. So as I'm doing this, I am going to give you some names of other people that I watched. This particular one, I should start there, was done by France Martin. Frenchy stamps. I'm sure if you've been around the world of live videos to do with card making, you have seen her and some of her work. And I thought this one was one of the easiest ones to do. So you notice when that got over there, I trimmed it. Okay. So then my next one, you might have guessed, is going to go here. And if you were really careful, and I don't think I can, but I will hold it up so you can see, you probably could put it out this far so you can see the stitching. Would make another interesting detail. So again, just hold my fingers there. I'm going to put my dots. And you notice I use my silicone mat because I don't want on my work surface. And I'm going to just, because you can see, because they're contrasting colors, you can really see if they overlap that centerpiece or not. And I'm going to trim the next one. Betty, just got your notice. You haven't missed a lot, Betty. It's I'm sure you could pick it up, and the replay will always be there for you to watch. Gail, I saw somewhere that you were watching from a hotel room. That's great. I'm glad that you found a place that you could share and join with us, and been admiring the card for a while. Good. Me too. It has been on my radar, and I thought tonight was the night. So I really appreciate all of you who did answer my poll on what colors to use, because sometimes I just can't make that decision. So And as always, I can see all your comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. And I realize that some of you on YouTube can't see what's on Facebook, or no, not some of you, all of you on YouTube cannot see what's on the people on Facebook are saying, and vice versa. So I do try to, as we go through, sorry, I'm busy trying to glue, I can pop the comments onto the screen so that if I'm answering a question from one area, the other area can see what it is. Okay, so there is my first step. Now, if you go to some of these others, which I didn't give you any of those yet, did I? The first one I watched was by somebody, her business name is Robin's Roost. And I believe all of the other ones, not Frenchies, but all of the others did what Robin did with hers. And that was, she used this paper and this cardstock and this one, and she cut the same size out of both of them. And when we got to Frenchies, she said, I didn't see why we would need to do that if we can have them just layer like this. Okay, so I have okay, let me just see if I can got this comment from Betty on YouTube. I really like those two colors. I do too. I'm glad that that was the choice. And this one from Kinser Crafts, is that how you say that? How thin are the black strips? They're they are 1/4 inch wide. So quite easy, and certainly does not take much paper from your paper stash. So I think a great idea. Now, before I went on, I did take this, and I'm going to, no, I'm not. This time I'm going to stamp that. I'll highlight a few other things as I go through and show you the other ones. But I'm just going to take this and run it through an embossing folder. And I have got, these have become my favoritist. Is that a word? These are in the online exclusives. Didn't realize how many things I actually had from there until I started going over what was there today. And this one, this crosshatch, as I'm calling it, I really like. The large dots, the small flowers. And I think, you know what? This one I am going to use the small flowers because I have a flower image that I want to put on the center. Not quite the same, but it will do. So to do this, I'm going to line it up with this line along the bottom of the embossing folder. Close it up. And now that I've got the strips on there, it's going to emboss the strips as well as the card base, or the card layer, I should say. I'm going to bring this in. Try not to shake the table too bad. I have plate 1. This is a 3D embossing folder. I'm going to lay my embossing folder on with the fold at the top, or the hinge as you want to call it, and then plate 4. And that is going to give me just enough pressure. Remember that everybody's machine is different. If yours happens to need an extra shim, as in a piece of cardstock or a piece of card base from the back of our designer paper, something like that, don't feel there's something wrong with it. Just every machine is just a little bit different. So now I have this design on my layer, and try not to get the glue stuck in it. Okay, so next I can adhere that to my layer of pebbled path. And again, because I was kind of out of crafting area for a while there, I haven't used many of these new colors, and I'm just loving them. How about you guys? Do you have a favorite that you keep going back to? I'd love to hear about it, and I will wait to see what you're making with them too. Gluing that down. Excuse me. A comment from Betty over on YouTube. Um, Betty was in a class that I did today and was showing us some beautiful sympathy cards she's made. So yes, Betty, with the correct colors, this could make a great sympathy card. And then I just used the white base. So I'm going to put it on there. And I'd love to hear what other ideas you have for using this. I did not, on the ones I made and on this one, I've not used any dimensionals because I wanted it to be a flat, basically a flat, that felt like glue, surface. On the ones that some of these other gals did, as in Robin's Roost, there's one by a Jane Allmark, and there's one called Village Cards and Crafts. Most of them did have the 2 layers cut out. They also raised things up. So you can see lots of different kinds if you want to go check those out. So then, just because of contrast and to give it a bit of pop, I've cut a white one this same size. I'm going to put it in there. And then before I put this one in, I am going to stamp on it. And the other thing that, and again, I'll show you on a couple of the others that I did. If you want to stamp on in any of these areas, it's a good idea to stamp before you run it through the embossing folder. Hello, Lynn, and yes, that is a nice embossing folder. So I'm just going to put this, no, I'm not going to, because that one I do want to stamp on as well. I do want to show you on this particular one, I went to do one for the Boho Blue, and do you see what I did wrong? Anybody tell me? Can anybody guess what I did wrong? And this is Roz telling me what color she likes best. Such pretty new colors, yes. Azure Blue, Bubble Bath, and Lemon Lolly. I have, there was one I was looking at. Oh, it was one in my class I did today where we did Bubble Bath. We had as one of the layers, and yes, it is a gorgeous color. Betty, I love all the new colors. Wasn't crazy about wild wheat, but it is growing on me. Well, don't let it grow too much, Betty, because you know what happens with wheat when it grows? It needs to be harvested. And Lynn, nice background. Yes. Thank you, ladies, for your comments. Please keep them coming. So back to this. Anybody figure out what I did wrong here? While you're thinking of that, I am going to stamp, not on that color, I'm going to stamp some Lemon Lolly on my white, just to give it a little bit of something. And I'm not going to be too worried about where or anything else, just a bit of a backgroundy like that. So that will go in here, so you can see it's picked up the yellow. And then, did you stamp or emboss the blue? This blue is stamped. And what I did wrong was I need because this is all diamond shaped, I need this to go this way. And I stamped it this way. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to keep that and just show you what I did. So for this one, I do have words, and these are from, nope, just a minute, I will find it. Lasting Joy, which is the set that comes with the country. And these are the flowers I used. I'm going to use For You because it fits in my heart. It exactly fit, but I was a little leery that I would stamp it straight. So I'm going to use my pebbled path and try my best. Oh, a little bit blurry in one spot. But you notice how I was able to lay it on the square and have it be fairly straight. Okay, you can stamp, of course, on the inside of your cards. I haven't done that, but now I'm just going to glue these together. And hello, Lorene. Yes, that yellow is a very pretty shade of yellow. So we do have a lot of pretty colors. As what you said, they're all great. So because I use the same dies for each cutting, and that one I can feel it down into that layer, and then this one, I think for this time I might grab my dimensionals and put it up, and probably some more. Betty, she's right in. Yes, thank you, Betty. As I said to you earlier today, I have been away for a few weeks from doing this. I've got to get my brain wrapped around all these names and everything again. And of course, as with anything, the more you use the products, the more you will remember them. So, did and yes, big shopping day today. Clearance rack refresh, new online exclusives, and there is our card. Quite like that. I like to turn my card over and do this to finish burnishing them. And okay, Maggie. Hello, Maggie. Hi, Ketty. Yes. Like I say, I was pleased with that. And then I've got these I can use. Well, maybe not that one so much because unless I was to layer my card instead of the triangle, layer it differently. But anyway, those are extra little pieces. So now let me show you the other cards I made. So that's the one tonight, and that's the one that someone will win next week. So when I started out, I thought, oh, designer paper, that would look great. So I did one with Berry Burst. I stamped on it before I embossed it. I put designer paper for my strips. These are 1/2 inch strips, so they're a little bit bigger, so it gives you an idea of what it looks like. I did put a square of black in, and then I put Berry Burst again. Try and hold it, maybe you can see it, because I did run, when I ran this layer through without the, I did a lot of things different. I did this after I stamped, but before I put the strips on. I laid this in the embossing folder as well, so it also has the crosshatch on it. And then I just added some embellishments there to give it a bit of shine. And I did stamp on the inside of that one. Then I went to something. Then I went to the other colors that I'd asked you about in the poll. And this one is the boho blue and the moody mauve, and the one where I had stamped the flower buds the wrong direction. And I did add some Wink of Stella on there. I can see it, but I kind of doubt that you might be able to on there. And I grabbed this one from another one that I tried. That one looks to me like it's a pink. It's certainly not. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is that one from the Fresh Freesia one there. But you can intermingle all of those. And that's what I say with these. Like you could, and because you're using the same squares all over the place, you could certainly do that with it and layer them up. So I'm going to keep these because I can probably use them somewhere along the line. Hello, Karen. Yes, I'd love to see what you make with doing this. And last but not least, this one was the gorgeous grape and the fresh freesia. And on this one, I did not put that layer in around here, but you can see this layer through comes poking through, and I just added a flower on that particular one and a gem on there as well. So lots of different ideas. Um, presume you can see all of them. Let me know what your favorite is. I just because I'm curious, not that it makes a big difference. And now, just checking, doesn't look like there's too many questions that I haven't. Sharon loves the grape and fresh freesia. And Lorene and Karen Garner are going to watch the replay and make some, which I'm sure you've all got colors that you would like to put together. I think it's a great way to use like 1/4 inch strips like that. It just really kind of makes your center pop, doesn't it? So I don't have any happy mail down here. I do have the cards we made today in our monthly card club. This one from the Countryside Inn, with the embossing folder in the background and a couple of the designer papers cut out with the dies. This one with the Daisies designer paper. So real easy to do a card like this where you have the designer paper do all the work and then your greeting cut out. And then one that we did with the zoo paper, and mainly to show more of it, did a 2, 4, 6, 8 fold, which Patty Bennett has done recently, and just added some color and a bit of a gem to that one. So we had fun doing those. Okay, I've got Lorene liking the yellow one. I've got Gail like the yellow and the purple toned ones. I've got Lynn with the fresh freesia and the gorgeous grape. I've got Betty over from YouTube, lemon lolly. That really is a springy looking one for me. I can see I didn't pull out any, but I could see different shades of green happening depending on what to do with them. And as you said, if you're going to make a sympathy card, you might end up with more neutral tones in doing them. It's hard to say, right? For that. So great. Thank you all for being here. Now, on to the next thing I have is this card that we made last week. The pop-up wave card, I think I called it. And it also has some of that Countryside Inn die cuts there. This was the center of it. And I thank you so much to all of you who took part in creating one and sharing it. I've seen 2 or 3 where they've actually, instead of white here, they've used colored card base, and it really does look nice. So keep that in mind as well. And I have from Peggy, love the purple one, is one of my favorites. Great, that's good. And Roz loves my wave card. Thank you. But sorry, Roz, when I did the draw today from everybody who had commented last week, it goes to Linda. So Linda, that will be coming your way. I don't know if you're on here. Linda was going out of town today as well, but she said she was going to try and be like Gail and watch from a hotel room. But anyway, if not, I'm sure she'll catch the replay. So now, as I usually do, I'm going to go over to my draw giveaway show. Let's get the right names there. And let's put the date. And I'm going to draw 5 names, and they have, for those of you who haven't been here for a while, StreamYard has fixed the, oh, Peggy, I'll just answer that right while I'm here. Directions for the one you have in your hand, I presume you mean this one, that where the center pops out. If you go back to last week's Facebook Live, that's what I did. So that's why I have that card here. I do a draw for it the following week. And you should be able to find everything there. And if not, reach out to me and I'll try and help you get the right direction for it. So, okay, let's go to our, let me see again how the heck I did this. Present, share screen, that was it. And I'm going to go to this one and We have 11 people who have commented. So it doesn't matter how many times you comment, it just draws from your name that's on there. And it does draw from YouTube and Facebook. So as long as you're commenting anywhere, even if you just say hi, I know, some of you can't stay all the time or whatever. So if you say hi, your name will get there. So I'm going to do this, and we'll see who our 5 winners are. And as always, I just want to remind you that these are cards that not all that I have made. They are some that I've done in sharing um, card swaps, I don't think what it was called, card swaps, or in just exchange with others. And I just love sharing them, and I've got way too many here to use all myself. So rather than do away with them, I'm giving them to you. So here we go. Vicky, you were the second one, and Lynn, and that's number 3, Lynn. Then we have for number 4. I love all the pictures. Peggy, and last but not least, number 5. Ah, okay. Now, I know that I have not sent you one before, so Kinser Crafts, I'm going to call it, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correct. If you can message me your address, I would love to mail you a card. So please, when you have time, um, do that. Okay? So thank you for being here. And please, as always, reach out to me. Let me know if there's anything particular technique or design you would like to see, and I will try my best to have it for you. I love doing this, and I'm happy to have you here, and hopefully I'll see you again next week. Take care now.